Canada. I'm Thomas I. Likeness, reporting from our Eagle News studio. I'm in the Western Canadian province of Alberta. My city is Edmonton, and we're here to bring you news and commentary from across the country. Well, it's Friday morning. We made it through another work week. Those of you who are working, some of us are still kind of furloughed because of the pandemic, but nevertheless, we're coming up on the weekend. And I guess it's going to be somewhat miserable outside this weekend in Manila. At least that's what I'm told by AccuWeather. Right now it's 28 degrees, feels like 33 with some clouds, but rain and thunderstorms are forecast in the metro region. And of course, Typhoon Ambo expected to roll in today. Eagle News will have more details on that following this program on Aguila Bolita with Maricar Valesco. So it's a good day to stay inside. So be sure to grab that second cup of coffee right now. We'll sit back, relax, and let's bring you up to date with what's happening in Canada. First, a look at the weather across our country. Our street scene today comes from Guildford in British Columbia. It's in the Vancouver area. Ian Flores shot this street scene. Thanks, Ian. Weather across the country. On the West Coast, let's see here. Victoria and Vancouver, some clouds, both reporting 15 degrees. In Alberta, we've got a partly sunny sky. Oh, it's chilly out there. It's really cold. I feel like this is late September. Only got up to 7 degrees here. Down in Calgary, they got up to 12 with a few clouds. Rainy and 8 in Winnipeg. Toronto, cloudy and 11. Partly sunny and 16 in Ottawa. We move into Quebec, where Montreal is partly sunny and 15. Over in New Brunswick, in the capital of Fredericton, sunshine and 15 degrees. And for this time of year, that's actually pretty warm in the Atlantic provinces. Halifax, over in Nova Scotia, 13 with clouds. And up in St. John's, Newfoundland, oh my goodness, it's chilly up there. Cloudy and only got up to 4 degrees. Here are the stories that we're following today. Canadians could be facing a personal debt crisis. People who cheated to get the emergency benefit offered by the government, well, they're going to be dealt with later. The Prime Minister, he's urging people to support domestic food producers. We'll have an update on more easing of restrictions in various provinces across the country. And in sports, a look at what's happening with Vancouver's professional soccer team. But first, this warning from Canada's central bank. Canadian households and businesses could find themselves facing a cash flow problem in the coming months. In a report, the Bank of Canada says most at risk are people with and businesses that have high debt loads. The bank says in the coming months, businesses could see declining revenues, and with less money coming in, some enterprises could be teetering on the verge of bankruptcy. And that has the bank also has some concerns about household debt. The report expects consumer debt to rise, and it could become a critical situation for some whose incomes don't fully recover from the pandemic. You know, maybe the company can't afford to have you back for as many hours, so you're bringing home less money. The bank says, according to its findings, about 20% of the people who have mortgages don't have enough money to cover 2 months' worth of mortgage payments. It said many households will either have to defer loan payments or borrow more money to cover the drop in income. And the bank says the longer this pandemic goes on, the greater the risk of consumer bankruptcies. Now, the report expects consumer debt to rise and become more critical. Households described as vulnerable in this report are those who spend, and I just can't wrap my head around this, those who spend more than 40% of their income on debt payments. In other words, before you buy anything to put in the fridge or on the table, you're spending 40% of your income servicing debt. That's a lot of debt. The bank notes, though, that it's lowered its rate to 0.25% to make sure credit is available to businesses and households. Now, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is defending a decision not to challenge dubious claims for the employment response benefit. You recall that benefit gives people who lost their job, they were laid off, or they became ill with COVID-19, gives them $2,000 a month, and this runs through until August. Trudeau says millions of people need that benefit, millions applied, and he didn't want to hold things up. He wanted to get that money out to them, so he didn't want to hold things up. by doing extensive background checks.
And getting that help to 99% of the Canadians who needed it quickly and rapidly, if it meant even accepting that 1 or 2% might make fraudulent claims, was the choice that we gladly made. We needed to get help to Canadians immediately, and that's what we did. If we had asked the public service to perform background checks on everyone applying for the CERB, we'd still be waiting to get those checks out. And people needed that money. Now they needed that money last month when we delivered it. So saying, we have put in strong measures to ensure that anyone who is trying to defraud the system will get caught and there will be consequences. But that was not our priority. Our priority was helping people immediately, and the fraud measures will kick in the coming months.
There are reports that up to 200,000 claims may be investigated. Well, what's for dinner tonight? In Canada, Prime Minister Trudeau is hoping whatever you put on the table was produced in Canada. Trudeau says producers such as farmers and those in the fishing industry, well, they're suffering because they're facing higher costs, greater restrictions, and he says the dinner table is where people can help out.
And to everyone who wants to show their support, buy Canadian. Pick up some Canadian cheese to help out a local dairy farmer. Have a fish fry or buy Canadian lobster. Not only will it taste great, but it'll help the people who keep putting food on our plates.
Announced $470 million in help for the fishing industry today. Let's take a look at how the pandemic, or the rest of the country, I should say, is dealing with the pandemic. The epicenter, of course, is in Montreal in the province of Quebec. Today, Premier François Legault said schools in the Montreal area will not reopen at all this school year. It'll be at least September. He says the situation in Montreal, and these are his words, remains fragile. Originally, schools in the city were to open on May 25th, but Legault says hospitalization rates, death rates, they just haven't dropped enough. You know, in the last 24 hours in Quebec, 131 people died of COVID-19. Elsewhere in the province, schools have reopened on a voluntary basis. That's how attendance is. And Legault also said daycares in Montreal can tentatively reopen on June 1st. The exception, of course, the ones that are open right now, taking care of the children of essential workers. We move to neighboring Ontario now, where Premier Doug Ford announced the first step in restarting the province's economy. Beginning this weekend, private parks, campgrounds, and marinas will reopen. And on Tuesday next week, retailers with a street entrance, not in a mall, but with a street entrance, they can resume business. Construction projects can proceed. Elective surgeries will be allowed. People still won't be able to get a haircut, though, see a chiropractor or a physiotherapist, or get routine dental work done. And restaurants, they will remain closed. Ford says health experts will be watching the numbers before any other restrictions are eased, and he's urging caution.
I want to be clear that businesses should open only if they are ready. I'll repeat that, only if they are ready. And we need to keep in mind that all of this is dependent on the numbers. The truth is, we can't fully predict where things will go. So we need to be ready to react if we see a sudden increase in cases. We cannot let our guard down now. We must watch the trends like a hawk.
Ford expects there'll be more cases now that the restrictions are looser.
As we get more and more people back to work, the risk of flare-ups is real. So we need to stay vigilant. We can't take our progress for granted. We can't ignore the health advice. We need to be ready to respond, and we will be ready.
Ford says there is enough hospital capacity to handle any additional cases of COVID-19. Now, as far as other restrictions, when they might be lifted, Ford says that's just going to depend on how well the infection is being controlled. Gatherings will remain limited to 5 people. And that's got some people asking, why, Mr. Premier, why is it okay to go shopping, but I can't visit with my family if the number exceeds 5? You know something,
I get it. I really do. I understand the pain that you're going through, and you know, for months. And I know I had one of my daughters over too, and I got in trouble for that. But for months, we never saw him. And I understand the pain you're going through, your family's going through, and other families are going through. And I just ask, just hang in there, just a little bit longer, and we'll get through it. But I fully understand the concerns out there, and I appreciate the concerns.
With classrooms empty in Ontario, there's a lot of education workers who have no work. Eagle News correspondent Sabrina De Los Reyes tells us how the province has redeployed those workers to help out in long-term care centres.
Thanks, Tom. Let's talk about some of the latest news from Ontario. The provincial government is taking steps in supporting seniors and communities by working with the province's education sector to voluntarily place available employees in staffing roles amidst the COVID-19 outbreak. This is in line with the government's ongoing efforts to redeploy broader public sector workers to areas where there are limited staff, such as hospitals, long-term care homes, retirement homes, women's shelters, and homes serving those with developmental disabilities. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, Minister of Education Stephen Lecce, and Deputy Premier and Minister of Health Christine Elliott provide further details about this initiative.
We put out a call to our education workers to come to the aid of our hospital staff, our long-term care homes, our retirement homes and group homes, our homeless shelters and women's shelters, and other congregate care facilities. And our friends, the response has been overwhelming. Our school boards, our trustee associations, and union representatives have all come together to support this framework. They're working with us to redeploy education workers who are not currently involved with at-home learning. They're working with us to get these workers into the fight against COVID-19.
A framework was endorsed by the Ontario government, trustees associations, and most of the provincial union representatives to allow temporary redeployment of education workers while keeping their employment status and compensation within school boards.
I'm pleased to announce that the government, in partnership with federations and school boards, have agreed on a framework that will enable the voluntary redeployment of staff within the education sector to assist our most vulnerable. Voluntarily redeploying staff from our schools into long-term care homes and seniors' homes, women's shelter, abuse centres, to provide the care these public servants demonstrate each and every day in their careers. Available positions could include custodial or maintenance roles, children and youth service workers, social workers, and educational assistants, among others. And we're asking all of them to consider, knowing that they will be fully trained, that they'll be provided with PPE, and that they will continue to maintain their employment relationship with the school board.
Beginning later this week, those who are eligible in the education sector may register through an online portal to be matched with the congregate settings that are facing staffing shortages. The listed positions available include custodial, maintenance, food preparation, children and youth service workers, social workers, and educational assistants. The redeployment staff and volunteers will be given appropriate training and safety equipment and will be eligible for Ontario's temporary pandemic premium and emergency childcare. Premier Ford also gives his appreciation to the education sector workers and employees for voluntarily stepping up to support the struggling communities in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic.
I want to thank our incredible, and I say incredible, education workers for their leadership. They're absolute champions. You're setting a great example for others to follow. My friends, this period has been difficult for all of us, but through it all, what keeps me going, what has been inspiring to see, is people stepping up. People from every walk of life, from every corner of this province, looking out for each other and doing their part in this fight.
In Toronto, Sabrina De Los Reyes, Eagle News, we live in interesting times.
Still to come, more news about other parts of the country and how they're easing restrictions, and an update on soccer in Vancouver. You're watching Eagle News Mornings from Canada.
Iba't iba man ang pinanggalingan, iisa lang ang pinangahawakan. Ang pangarap na makilala sa kanilang larangan. Mas titindi pa ang performances ng ating mga TNG aspirants dito lang sa pinakabago at pinakamalaking talent competition ng Philippine Television. Ito ang...
This program is presented by SMC Infrastructure, building a better world. Vet-approved Nutri-Chunks, the only premium dog food with active boost for optimum energy and probiotics that help strengthen immunity. Just like Catherine Bernardo, gawing listo ganado ang fur babies niyo. Listo ganado sa Nutri-Chunks. Sanmig sugar-free white coffee. Puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na! Sanmig sugar-free white coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free. Magnolia Chicken Templados. Delicious, ready to cook and freshly marinated daily. Pure Foods Luncheon Meat. Pure sarap for every family. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef. Ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Walang duda. Kids can tell na #1 ang Pure Foods Tender Juicy. Ang tender, ang juicy, ang sarap. Co-presented by Kubert, expert in air conditioning and electromechanical. Also engaged in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Kubert, your ultimate NEPs and air conditioning solutions. New San Jose Builders Incorporated. Unlad Incorporated International. Fight against global poverty. Canrip Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee. Masarap, mabango, at healthy pa. Puerto Rico Resort and Convention Center, Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. I love Puerto Rico. In participation with elastomeric waterproofing paint, color for protection for your home. Matimco. Matimco is wood. Wood is Matimco. Our Square Variables Incorporated, your trusted UPS supplier and UPS maintenance provider in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. CompuZell Computer Services, ID card and lanyard manufacturer. Saisho International Trading Corporation. DN Steel. EMAT UPVC Roof Corporation.
Hey, Gretchen Ho here, and I'm a white coffee lover. Creamy kasi, and very yummy. Pero mas masarap kung hindi nakaka-guilty. Check my new discovery, Sanmig Sugar-Free White Coffee. Puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na! Sanmig Sugar-Free White Coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free.
The Bulacan Bulk Water Project is a treatment facility that will provide bulk water to the 24 municipalities of Bulacan to meet the increasing water demand of its residents. Through concessionaire, SMC Infrastructure also initiated the significant improvements of the Manila North Harbor Port, the country's busiest port.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved Nutri-Chunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat, with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks.
Ikaw lang ang star ng buhay ko. Para sa akin, perfect ka. Ibang klase ang sarap ng corned beef mo. Ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Pag Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, sarap ng corned beef, inangat pa ng real cheese cubes. Kaya perfect ang sarap. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef.
This is Eagle News Mornings from Canada. I'm Thomas. I like this. In the eastern Canadian province of New Brunswick, the government took strict measures very early into the pandemic. Eagle News correspondent Cara Cabuso tells us that has worked out well.
The province of New Brunswick is the poster child of containing COVID-19 within its boundaries. It has gone 5 days with no new cases of the infection. Since the first case was reported on April 18th, there have been only 120 cases reported in the province and no deaths from the virus. Only 2 cases remain active. Both are travel-related and the patients are recovering at home. More than 18,000 people have been tested. Dr. Jennifer Russell, Chief Medical Officer of Health, says despite the success in limiting the spread of the virus, people should remain cautious.
So we have had no cases in the middle of May, and that means that we've done an excellent job at controlling the spread of the virus back in April, when New Brunswick was in the first days of slowly opening. And because we know the risk of imported cases from travel outside New Brunswick still exists, it is as important as it always has been that anybody coming in from outside the province self-isolate for 2 weeks. Very, very important.
Last Friday, New Brunswick moved to the second phase of the province's reopening strategy. That allowed non-essential businesses to open their doors. But merchants must follow strict guidelines, which include ensuring social distancing and wearing face masks when people can't be 2 meters apart. In St. John, Caracabusao, we live in interesting times.
Well, the city of Calgary must be feeling like the kid who was invited to the birthday party, but told he had to stay in the house while everyone else played outside. Joining me live now from Calgary is Eagle News correspondent J.C. Hummel. And J.C., I understand the city got a little bit left behind in the province's reopening plans yesterday.
Yes, Tom. Actually, there are a lot of disappointed people here in Calgary right now, including me, because I still want to have my haircut done. But as people in the rest of the province are able to get a haircut to have a meal in a restaurant, Calgarians as well as people in town of Brooks will have to wait until May 25th. Calgarians will have to wait until June 1st before houses of worship and day camps can open. What businesses can resume today? Non-essential retailers such as electronic shops, clothing, and furniture stores will be allowed to open their doors. But there is a condition. Businesses will have to limit the number of customers in a store, maintain social distancing, and increase cleaning and sanitation. In some cases, masks will be required. Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Dina Hinshaw, says the delay is because 75% of the COVID-19 cases in the province are in Brooks and in Calgary. Most are related to the large meat plants in the region, and Hinshaw says that's why the government is being cautious.
In these municipalities, we must recognize the higher number of cases we continue to see compared to the rest of the province. I know this may be frustrating for some residents and businesses, but we ask you to be patient. Your safety remains our top priority. And we encourage those in Calgary and Brooks to wait to access services in your communities on the upcoming dates, rather than traveling for services.
So people ask, are people in Calgary safe? Premier Jason Kenney says there is no need for alarm.
So let me be clear. No one should suggest that Calgary or Brooks are in any way unsafe. That would be wrong. The number of active cases in Calgary is only 74 per 100,000 people, compared to 29 per 100,000 people province-wide. So the risk is low for Albertans wherever they live. And we are all in this together, regardless of where we live.
But for some businesses, we feel the fallout for this decision. Restaurateurs who counted on being able to serve customers today are finding themselves stuck with inventory that cannot be sold. Much of it are perishables, and the stuff that had been called in will now have to wait 11 more days before they can go to work. Before the government announced reopening plans, Mayor Nahid Nenshi, the mayor of Calgary, expressed fears about restarting the economy too soon because the city is the epicenter of the pandemic in Alberta. He wondered whether it was wise for the city to be on the same schedule as the rest of the province, and it appears the province has acknowledged his concern. Reporting from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, this is JC Numul, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Tom.
Always good to have you on the show, JC. Just quickly, what's the first thing you're going to do when things open up a little bit more?
I think I need to have a haircut.
I think you do, too. Don't be a stranger and join us here again. And back with us today, Eagle sports guru Anthony Sevilla. He's here to talk about the Vancouver Whitecaps. Good morning, Anthony.
Hey, good morning, Tom. Thanks for having me on the show.
Always a pleasure.
So this week, the Vancouver Whitecaps FC reached phase 1 of the team's return to play plan and returned to their training facility at UBC for individual player workouts. Head coach Mark Dos Santos gave us an insight of what practice was like after a long period away from the field.
Yeah, it was special. Like Axel said, especially on the mental side, just to have the players being together and slowly seeing each other, even if it's on another side of the field. But again, I think it's a very important step. It's step 1, cleats on, going on the grass, touching a ball, seeing their teammates around, seeing coaching staff around. It's a beginning.
Well, with the Whitecaps making the return to the pitch, Alex Schuster voiced something particularly important to the public. Listen to this.
Nobody should get the feeling in our province, and all the kids should not think we are going out to play football again, soccer again, and they should go out now into the parks and play soccer again. We are not playing soccer. We are only in phase 1. It's a very little step from the technical side, so it's only a step onto the pitch, doing individual workouts on the pitch instead of doing them in local parks or at home. So, and we did that approved by the local health authorities and a lot of other parts, MLS, UBC. So I have to thank you, all of these parties that have been involved in the whole process to get that approved by them and to make that possible. And it is only possible because we are following all the guidelines of the local health authorities. So
Other leagues around the world faced issues when they started phase 1 of training as players tested positive for COVID-19. Mark Dos Santos addressed the possible problems and what measures the Whitecaps are doing in order to take the right steps forward.
What we're doing as a club is we're taking all the right measures to try to limit and make sure that we're ready and taking the right steps, being careful with training. We have the right distances, everybody's wearing a mask, everybody's taking care of washing their hands and doing everything they have to do before going on the field. Everybody is staying away from each other the maximum they can, so we're taking the right steps. Now, we don't know what could happen in the future. This is new not only for the Whitecaps or MLS, it's new in the world. So hopefully we're going to learn with it step by step, and we're taking all the careful measures that we have to do as a team.
The Whitecaps are only one of 13 clubs in Major League Soccer approved to go ahead with phase 1 of training and individual workouts. There are 26 teams in the MLS, meaning half of the league still awaits to return to the pitch. However, a return from half the league shows a good sign for the MLS to move forward in their season. The league is hoping to resume the season this summer without fans in stadiums in a centralized location, but have yet to announce any official location just yet.
Okay, thank you for the update, Anthony. Reminder to everybody out there, Sunday, take in the 52nd annual EBC Anniversary Special online concert. I think this is number 3 in that series. Number 2 or number 3. Numbers confuse me. Anyway, this is all to help support the FYM Medical Foundation. So watch this concert. You can find it on Facebook, on YouTube. That's going to be on this Sunday. That's our program for today. Thank you for watching. Until Monday, on behalf of our Canadian News team, I wish you all good health. Take care of others and take care of yourselves. Stay home, stay safe, and stay tuned to Eagle News for accurate, balanced coverage of the affairs of the day. In Edmonton, Canada, Thomas and I like this Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Stay tuned for Aguila Bolita, hosted by Maricar Valesco.
Thank you, Tom. Have a great day ahead.
You too, Maricar. Stay safe in the storm.
Na ang mga pangunahing balita sa loob at labas ng bansa. Tinagid at kinalap ng Aguila News Team. Aguila Balita.
Narito na ang mga may init na balita. Ngayon ay Biyernes, Mayo 15, 2020. Sa ulo ng mga balita. Bagyong Ambo na nalasa sa Samar Provinces at Bicol Region. COVID-19 recovery sa bansa pumalo na sa 2,337. Bilang naman ng confirmed cases umaabot na sa 11,876. DILG magpapadala ng show cause orders laban sa 43 mayors dahil sa mabagal na pamamahagi ng cash aid sa ilalim ng SAP. At sa ating balitang abroad, nasa 42 katao ang namatay matapos uminom ng adulterated alcohol sa Central Puebla State ng Mexico. Ako ang inyong magiging tagapaghatid balita. Ako po si Maricar Velasco. Sa detalye ng mga balita, naglandfall kahapon ng bagyong Ambo sa bahagi ng Eastern Samar. Ayon sa Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration o PAG-ASA, unang tumama sa kalupaan ng San Policarpo ang bagyo sa ganap na alas 12:15 ng tanghali. Naranasan ng malakas na hugupit ng hangin at ulan sa bahagi ng Northern Samar, hilagang bahagi ng Samar at Eastern Samar. Para sa ating weather update, makakasama natin si Sheila Reyes mula sa PAG-ASA Weather Forecasting Center. Sheila?
Po, magandang umaga po, Miss Maricar, at sa ating mga tagapakinig. Naglandfall ulit itong si Typhoon Ambo at as of 4 a.m. ay huling namata nito sa vicinity ng Claveria, Masbate, Boreas Island. So bahagyang humina po itong bagyo. May taglay na pinakamalakas na hangin na umaabot sa 125 kilometers per hour malapit sa gitna at gustiness na posibleng umabot sa 165 kilometers per hour. Sa kasulukuyan ay kumikilos pa ito pa northwestward na may bilis na 15 kilometers per hour. At kung hindi po magbabago ang movement nitong bagyo, posible po itong maglandfall sa may bundok peninsula ng Southern Quezon ngayong umaga. At dahil po sa bagyo, nakataas po ang ating signal number 3 or tropical cyclone wind signal number 3 sa may Sorsogon, Albay, Northern Masbate, including Ticao and Boreas Islands, Camarines Norte, western portion ng Camarines Sur, southern portion ng Quezon at Marinduque. Signal number 2 naman sa may Nueva Vizcaya, Quirino, Aurora, Nueva Ecija, Tarlac, Pampanga, Bulacan, Metro Manila, Rizal, Laguna, Cavite, Batangas, the rest of Quezon, the rest of Masbate, the rest of Camarines Sur, Catanduanes, eastern portion ng Romblon, at western portion ng Northern Samar. Samantala, signal number 1 naman sa may Cagayan, including Babuyan Islands, Isabela, Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Apayao, Kalinga, Abra, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Benguet, Zambales, Bataan, Oriental Mindoro, the rest of Romblon, the rest of Northern Samar, extreme northern portion ng Eastern Samar, northern portion ng Samar, Biliran, extreme northwestern portion ng Leyte, extreme northeastern portion ng Capiz, at northeastern portion ng Iloilo. Sa mga nabanggit na areas, advice pa rin po natin sa ating mga kababayan na maging alerto po, lalong-lalo na po sa mga dadaanan ng bagyo ngayong araw at sa susunod na araw po ay dahil inaasahan po natin na maaari pong makaranas ng malalakas na hangin at malalakas na ulan. Sa ngayon po, inaasahan po natin na posibleng makaranas ng moderate to heavy at paminsan-minsan intense na mga pag-ulan sa may Bicol Region, Quezon, Aurora at Marinduque. So mamayang 8 a.m. po, meron po tayong update. Magpapalabas po tayo ng severe weather bulletin update po sa binabantayan po nating bagyo na si Typhoon Ambo. At yan muna po ang latest mula po dito sa Pag-asa Weather Forecasting Center. Ako po si Sheila Reyes. Magandang umaga po.
Maraming salamat, Sheila. Samantala, alamin natin na ang kaganapan sa Calbayog City, Samar, kaugnay ng bagyong Ambo. May hatid na report si Miriam Timan.
Yes, magandang umaga. Matapos manalasa ang bagyong Ambo dito sa Calbayog City, Samar, makikita ang pinagdaanan ng bagyo sa dami ng mga dahon at sanga sa kalsada. May mga puno din ang nabuwal at mga bunga ng mga puno ang naglaglagan. Wala pa rin ilaw at tubig sa ngayon at patuloy ang pagkumpuni ng mga taga Samelco. Ang City Social Welfare and Development Office o CSWDO sa pangunguna ni Mrs. Betty Jane Arnejo ay namahagi ng mga relief goods kagabi sa mga evacuation center na siyang isa sa mga instruction ni Mayor Ronaldo P. Aquino. Samantala, inaantabayanan pa natin ang assessment ng mga kinaukulang ahensya at CDRRMO sa mga napinsala sa syudad at sa mga barangay. Yan muna ang kaganapan dito sa Calbayog City. Para sa Eagle News, Miriam Timan, we live in interesting lives.
Samantala, alamin natin ang mga kaganapan naman sa Camarines Norte kaugnay sa bagyong si Ambo. May report si Orlando Encinares.
Naramdaman na ngayong umaga ang bagyong Ambo sa na signal number. Dalam senaryo mga kalamang ito, at ang kasalukuyan ay nasa sentro ng bagyo sa mga bayan ng Kapalonga, Santa Elena, Mame, hapon. Naglay ang hangin mula 100 km per hour hanggang 170 km per hour ayon sa pagtataya ng DOST Pag-asa sa pinalabas nitong latest bulletin kanina. Nagkakabay ang lahat ng ahensya at mga LGU sa 12 bayan sa mga qualities na posibleng mangyayari upang magawan ng agarang aksyon. Inaasahan na maaaring maging problema sa mga komunikasyon dahil sa kawalan ng kuryente o power interruption kung sakaling biglang lumakas ito. Nagbaba ng kautusan si Gobernador Edgardo Taliado upang kansilahin ang pasok ngayong araw ang lahat ng pangputibadong tanggapan at sa kaligtasan ng kanilang manggagawa. Pero sila naman ang Camarines Norte Water District o CNWD ang pagbabayad ng mga bayaring tubig mula hanggang Biyernes na walang penalties at Lunes na sila at muli. Tapos yung monitoring ng mga taga-provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office o PDRMO na tinututukan ng lugar ng bayin, mga lugar na madalas ang soil erosion, ang punong maaaring mabuwal at umambalang sa mga pangunahing kalsada at mga barangay na malapit sa mga tabing dagat sa agarang evacuation. Para lang dati ginamit na quarantine areas ay nalinis na at disinfect na centers. Nakabang na ng kanya-kanyang kilos ang may-ari ng establishmento, partikular ang mga groceries upang huwag mabulok ang mga frozen products dahil walang para ang daloy ng kuryente. Mula dito sa Lawit, sa Eagle News, Orlando,
Sa ibang balita, umakyat na sa 11,876 ang bilang ng COVID-19 cases sa bansa matapos makapagtala ang Department of Health ng karagdagang 258 bagong kaso. Kaiman lalo pang dumami ang bilang ng recoveries matapos makapagdagdag ng 86 na bagong gumaling sa sakit. Ang bilang ng recoveries ay pumalo na sa kabuang 2,337. Samantala sa naitalang bagong kaso ng COVID-19, 73% o 188 cases ay mula sa National Capital Region, 21% o 54 cases mula sa iba't ibang lugar at 6% o 16 cases ay mula naman sa Region 7. Ang death toll ay umabot na sa 790 kasama na ang 18 karagdagang namatay dahil sa sakit. 43 alkalde ang padadalhan ng Department of Interior and Local Government ng show cause orders dahil sa umunoy mabagal na pamamahagi ng cash aid sa kanilang constituents sa ilalim ng Social Amelioration Program. Sinabi ni Interior Secretary Eduardo Año na 11 sa mga naturang mayor ay mula sa Western Visayas, 8 sa Mimaropa, 5 sa Central Visayas, 4 sa Davao Region at 4 sa National Capital Region. Ang iba pa niyang local government units na hindi nakatugon sa May 10 deadline para sa pamamahagi ng cash aid ay 2 sa Ilocos Region, 2 sa Cagayan Valley, 2 sa Calabarzon, 2 sa Eastern Visayas, 2 sa Northern Mindanao at 1 naman sa Central Luzon. Sinabi pa ng kalihim na ang 43 LGUs ay mayroong 79% pababa na accomplishment rate. Samantala, IATF muling binago ang classification ng community quarantine sa buong bansa. May report si Vic Sumintak.
Para maiwasan ang kalituhan sa klasifikasyon ng community quarantine sa buong bansa, inamyendahan ng Interagency Task Force o IATF ang kanilang Resolution number 35. Batay sa orihinal na Resolution number 35, 3 ang quarantine classification na ipatutupad sa May 16. Ito ay kinabibilangan ng Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine, General Community Quarantine at Modified General Community Quarantine. Sinabi ni Presidential Spokesman Secretary Harry Roque na napagkasunduan sa huling pulong ng IATF na maglabas ng Amended Resolution number 35-A na magiging 2 na lamang ang quarantine classification sa bansa pagsapit ng May 16 at ito ay ang Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine at General Community Quarantine. Ayon kay Roque, maliban sa Metro Manila, lalawigan ng Laguna at Cebu City na nasa ilalim ng Modified ECQ, lahat ng lugar sa bansa ay isa sa ilalim sa GCQ pagsapit ng May 16. Inihayag ni Roque mismong ang mga local government executives sa mga lugar na mayroong low risk ng COVID-19 ang humiling na panatilihin ang GCQ sa kanilang nasasakupan upang makontrol pa rin ang galaw ng mga tao at maagapan ang pagkalat pa ng COVID-19.
Ayon sa huling napalabas na resolusyon, ang mga ito ay hindi na mapapasailalim sa community quarantine. Pero nagkaroon po ng diskusyon ukol dito at kahapon nga po ay nakapagkasunduan na maglabas ang IATF Resolution number 35-A. Nag-issue ang IATF ng amendment sa Resolution number 35 na simula Mayo 16, ang mga probinsya, highly urbanized cities at independent component cities na classified as low-risk areas ay mapapasailalim pa rin sa general community quarantine. So ngayon nyo po, makikita nyo sa ating mapa na ang buong Pilipinas po ngayon ay yellow. Lahat po ng parte ng Pilipinas ay nasa ilalim ng general community quarantine, maliban po sa Metro Manila, sa probinsya ng Laguna, at sa syudad ng Cebu na mapapasailalim sa Modified ECQ.
Para sa Eagle News, Vic Sumintak, we live in interesting times.
Pinalawig pa hanggang May 31 ang fuel subsidy para sa mga bus na ginagamit para mag-transport sa mga medical workers patungong ospital. Sa inilabas na pahayag ng Department of Transportation, ipinahayag ng gas company na Clean Fuel na palalawigin nila ang ibinigay na subsidy matapos ipahayag ng pamahalaan na isa sa ilalim sa Modified Enhanced Community Quarantine ang Metro Manila hanggang May 31. Nakatakda sanang magtapos ang oil fuel subsidy assistance na ibinigay ng nasabing kumpanya ngayong araw, Mayo 15, na pagtatapos sana ng implementasyon ng ECQ. Ayon sa DOTR, 810 liters ng fuel ay patuloy na ipagkakaloob sa bawat bus kada araw. Kaugnay nito, mula nang inilunsad ang proyekto noong Marso 18, nakapagkaloob na ng free ride service for health workers program ng total ridership na 750,866 nationwide hanggang May 12. Samantala, nais ng mga senators na maaprubahan na ang panukalang Medical Scholarship Act. Ito ay para dumami ang mga medical experts sa bansa, lalo na ngayong may umiiral na health crisis. Si Mayan Corvera sa detalye. Balikan natin si Mayan Corvera. Samantala, magbabalik ang Agila Balita sa umaga.
Agila Balita.
Iba't iba man ang pinanggalingan, iisa lang ang pinangahawakan. Ang pangarap na makilala sa kanilang larangan. Mas titindi pa ang performances ng ating mga TNG aspirants dito lang sa pinakabago at pinakamalaking talent competition ng Philippine Television. Ito ang...
This program is presented by SMC Infrastructure, building a better world. Vet-approved Nutri-Chunks, the only premium dog food with active boost for optimum energy and probiotics that help strengthen immunity. Just like Catherine Bernardo, gawing listo ganado ang fur babies niyo. Listo ganado sa Nutri-Chunks. Sanmig sugar-free white coffee. Puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na! Sanmig sugar-free white coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free. Magnolia Chicken Templados. Delicious, ready to cook and freshly marinated daily. Pure Foods Luncheon Meat. Pure sarap for every family. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef. Ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Walang duda. Kids can tell na #1 ang Pure Foods Tender Juicy. Ang tender, ang juicy, ang sarap. Co-presented by Kubert, expert in air conditioning and electromechanical. Also engaged in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Cooper, your ultimate NEPs and air conditioning solutions. New San Jose Builders Incorporated. Unlad Incorporated International. Fight against global poverty. Canrip Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee. Masarap, mabango, at healthy pa. Puerto Rico Resort and Convention Center, Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. I love Puerto Rico. In participation with elastomeric waterproofing paint, colorful protection for your home. Matimco. Matimco is wood. Wood is Matimco. Our Square Variables Incorporated, your trusted UPS supplier and UPS maintenance provider in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. CompuZell Computer Services, ID card and lanyard manufacturer. Saisho International Trading Corporation. DN Steel. EMAT UPVC Roof Corporation.
Hey, Aggression Ho here, and I'm a white coffee lover. Creamy kasi, and very yummy. Pero mas masarap kung hindi nakaka-guilty. Check my new discovery, Sanmig Sugar-Free White Coffee. Puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na! Sanmig Sugar-Free White Coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free.
The successful development of TPLEX, or Tarlac-Pangasinan-La Union Expressway in 2009, a 4-lane toll road that extends from Tarlac City to Rosario, La Union, with an additional approved extension of 56 kilometers all the way to San Juan, La Union. This is expected to reduce travel time to Baguio and other provinces in northern Luzon. Realizing the vision of creating a better world for Filipinos fueled the team's focus.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved Nutri-Chunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat, with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks.
Ikaw lang ang star ng buhay ko. Para sa akin, perfect ka. Ibang klase ang sarap ng corned beef mo. Ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Pag Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, sarap ng corned beef, inangat pa ng real cheese cubes. Kaya perfect ang sarap. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef.
Nagkasundo ang mga kongresistang miyembro ng House Committee on Senior Citizens na simulan sa edad na 80 ang pagbibigay ng cash gifts sa mga nakatatanda. Sa isinagawang Technical Working Group virtual meeting ng committee na pinamumunuan ni Senior Citizen Party List Representative Francisco Datol Jr., kabilang sa amyendahan sa Republic Act 10868 o mas kilala bilang Centenarian Law ay ang edad ng mga senior na tatanggap ng cash gift mula sa 100 years old. Batay sa sa matrix, ang senior na edad 80 years, 85, 90 at 95 years old ay tatanggap ng tig 25,000 pesos at pagsapit ng 100 years old ay tatanggap ng 100,000 pesos. Layo nito na habang buhay pa ang mga senior ay mapakinabangan pa rin nila ang benepisyong ito, lalo na sa pagbili ng mga gamot at iba pang pangangailangan. Pag-uusapan naman ng mga kongresista kung papalitan ang terminong centenarian gift at gawin itong cash gift. Umaasa si Datol na aaprubahan ng mga mambabatas ang kanilang panukala para sa kapakanan ng mga nakatatanda.
Salamat akong muli sa lahat ng mga kongresista. Ano po, ng mga kasamahan ko, lahat po sila ay talaga namang pinipilit na humaba ang buhay ng ating mga nakatatanda. Kaya nga po yung ating naaprubahan, mag-umpisa sa 80, 80 years old, 85, 90, 95, at 100 years old. At yun po namang isinasuggest pa, pag 100 years old ka na, tumuntong ka ng 101, ay bibigyan ka o magkakaroon ka ng 1 milyon every birthday. Ito naman po, bira lang po mangyari yun. Kaya nga po, nagpapasalamat akong muli sa lahat ng mga kongresista, ano po, ng mga kasamahan ko.
Paalala naman ng kongresista sa mga kapwa senior citizen na manatili sa bahay sa gitna ng COVID-19 at hintayin ng mga ito ang kanilang pensyon at ayuda na dadalhin sa kanilang mga bahay. Sa ibang balita, nagpaliwanag ang National Telecommunications Commission sa House of Representatives dahil sa kabiguang ipaalam ang hakbang na ipasara ang ABS-CBN. Ginawa ito ng NTC bilang tugon sa show cause order na in-issue ng Committee on Legislative Franchise sa mga opisyal ng NTC. Nauna nang pinagpaliwanag ang mga opisyal ng NTC bakit hindi sila maaaring i-cite for contempt nang maglabas ng cease and desist order kahit pa may resolusyon na ang Kongreso na mabigyan ng provisional franchise ang kumpanya habang pending ang kanilang application for renewal. Sa sulat ng NTC sa Kamara, sinabi nitong ikinonsidera sa desisyon ng ang komento ng Solicitor General sa Korte Suprema. Iginiit pa ng NTC na batay sa kanilang ginawang konsultasyon sa mga legal experts, kung mag-i-issue sila ng provisional authority, maituturing na panghihimasok ito sa eksklusibong kapangyarihan ng Kongreso na magkaloob ng franchise. Isang MPV at 10-wheeler truck na nagkasagian sa EDSA Balintawak southbound. May report si Eagle News correspondent Tantan Alcantara.
Sa kabila ng ipinatutupad na enhanced community quarantine sa National Capital Region, makikita ang maluwag na sitwasyon ng kahabaan ng EDSA. Walang public transport vehicles na makikita. Ang ilan ay sinasamantala ang kawalan ng trapiko kung kaya't sila ay nakapagpapatakbo ng mabilis. Ito ang kinahinatnan ng isang MPV at isang 10-wheeler truck sa kahabaan ng EDSA Balintawak southbound. Nagkasagian ng dalawang nasabing sasakyan kung saan ang truck ay pakanan at hindi nakita ng driver nito ang kotse kung kaya't ito ay kanyang nasagian. Nirespondihan naman agad ito ng traffic enforcer at inimbestigahan kung sino ang may kasalanan sa dalawang sasakyan. Wala naman napaulat na nasaktan sa nasabing insidente. Samantala, todo higpit naman ang pinagsanib na puwersa ng PNP Highway Patrol Group at MMDA sa EDSA Santolan sa kanilang isinasagawang checkpoints. Ito ay upang sitahin ng mga hindi otorisadong magbiyahe sa umiiral na enhanced community quarantine. Kasama na rin dito ang lumalabag sa trapiko. Makikita din ang mga kalsada na inayos ng DPWH. Sinamantala na rin na gawin ito habang wala gaanong mga sasakyan kung saan maaari pang magdulot ng trapiko. Paalala sa mga motorista na huwag samantalahin ang kaluwagan ng EDSA. Magpatakbo ng nararapat lamang na bilis upang maiwasan ang aksidente na maaaring mangyari. Para sa Eagle News, kasama si Paul Ocampo, Tantan Alcantara, we live in interesting times.
Mga pangyayari sa labas ng bansa. Balitang Abroad.
Nasa 42 katao ang namatay matapos uminom ng adulterated alcohol sa isang lamayan sa Central Puebla State ng Mexico. Ayon sa mga opisyal, 11 katao pa ang nasa kritikal na kondisyon matapos ding uminom ng kontaminadong alak nang dumalo sila sa isang funeral service sa Chinconcuatla. May 2 kilometro sa hilagang silangan ng Mexico City. Naitakbo pa ang mga biktima sa ospital matapos silang makaranas ng pananakit ng ulo at tiyan. Sinabi ng mga otoridad na dahil sa coronavirus epidemic ay nagkaroon ng kakulangan sa supply ng alcoholic drinks, kaya't may mga residente na bumaling sa pag-inom ng mga mapanganib na adulterated liquor. Magugunitang noong nakaraang buwan ay 21 katao ang namatay dahil din sa pag-inom ng kontaminadong alak sa western state ng Jalisco. Nagbukas na ang mga negosyo sa New Zealand matapos na alisin na ang ipinapatupad na lockdown. Kabilang sa mga negosyong nagbukas ay ang mga barbershops, hairdressers, restaurants at iba't ibang stores. Ito ay matapos ilagay ng New Zealand sa level 2 ang kanilang 4-tier coronavirus alert system. Ginawa ito ng New Zealand matapos na walang naitalang COVID-19 virus infections sa mga nakalipas na araw. Sinamantala naman ng maraming Kiwis ang pagkakataon para makapagpagupit kaya't humaba ang pila sa mga hairdresser shops.
Miss this place and my clients as well. So I was looking forward to get back. Yeah, it's a great feeling. I've had some photos of clients who cut their partners or wives cut it for them. Terrible.
I think people are sort of looking to get back to normal, you know, sort of now, and being a level 2, it'll enable everyone to sort of at least function to a normal, you know, to a degree where, you know, you sort of got a normal.
It's going to be very interesting. Long-term business-wise, if you relied on tourism, you're going to struggle. We didn't particularly here. We're very much a CBD, but then how many of the office blocks are going to be full? Now, that was my bread and butter. They were my customers. And if they were working from home all of a sudden, then we're not going to get... So many of my customers would come in my other entrance, my little side entrance, because they come, they've got a regular table, they sneak in there, they sit down. Well, we're going to have to change that. We're going to have to come in the front door, we're going to have to be very alert. Have you signed in? Have you done this? Are you... And it's a bit nannies, it's a bit nanny-ish, you know, parenting, you know. But I think we've done so well thus far, it would be a shame not to continue with. I mean, the other thing that's really bizarre, we're quite proudly displaying our cleaning products and wiping down tables. When normally you sort of put all that sort of stuff out of the way, and now it's like, no, look at us, we're clean. It's like we were always bloody clean. What did you think we were doing? If we weren't clean, you were going to be quite sick.
At yan ang naging kabuuan ng ating may init na balita. Sa pangalan ng ating mga kaagapay, si Eagle News Service, ako po si Maricar Velasco, and we live in interesting times. Susunod na ang programang Saganang Mamamayan kasama sina Congressman Dante Marcoleta at Chenzo Barjaga.
Sumainyo ang mga balitang kinarap, maingat na isinulat at inihanay ng Eagle News Service. Agila Balita!
We are urging our viewers and listeners around the world to help raise COVID-19 relief from PPEs to relief goods. The primary beneficiary of the proceeds will go to the FYM Medical Foundation that also supports the New Era General Hospital, which maintains a biocontainment facility also intended for COVID-19 patients.
Narito ang iba't ibang paraan para mag-donate at makatulong sa mga health workers at frontliners through the FYM Medical Foundation. Una, donate via paymaya.co/abc. Madali lang mag-donate gamit ang kahit anong Visa, Mastercard at JCB cards, kahit saan mang sulok ng mundo. Bumisita lang sa pymy.co/abc para makapag-donate. Pumili lang ng amount na gusto mong i-donate at i-enter ang iyong card details. Pangalawa, donate via Paymaya app. Para naman sa mga walang credit card,
pwedeng gamitin ang inyong PayMaya app para mas madaling mag-donate via QR code. Mag-log on lang sa inyong PayMaya app, i-click ang scan button, itutok ang camera ng inyong phone sa QR code na nasa screen ngayon at i-enter ang amount na gusto nyong i-donate. Pangatlo, donate via PayPal. Para naman sa mga may PayPal app, pumunta lang sa eaglenews.ph